This whole story began developing 2 days ago. And from that point on, these terrible events kept on snowballing in a reign of terror that has not abated. The main advice news reporters have been able to get from official sources is to tell private citizens to stay inside their homes, behind locked doors.
A state of chaos and disorder is upon us. Will you take up arms? Will you help us make our last stand? The time is now. Let us be heard as we sing our way into battle. The machine shall fall to the ground as it vanishes into thin air. There is no wrong, nor is there right. Only freedom for which we fight. Beyond the land, across the sea, our adventure unfurls. In search of redemption, we find each other. We dream of home, but never sleep. We find comfort in one another. In face of peril, we shall not flee. Because together we are stronger, much more than before. And we feel the earth move and hear the ground roar. So join us, my friend. Let us see this to the end, as dark as the night may be. It's time to light up the sky with fire.
Riot is a form of civil disorder. Somebody f***ing breaks something. Your end is close. We shall enslave your planet, deplete your resources, while crushing your resistance to the ground. But for now, it's time for drum and bass.
Are you ready? Frontline Gaming Community is proud to present Season 5, Week 1, and it is the Challenger League, baby. We've got everything from Champ 1 on down to Diamond 1 tonight. 2 big matches and 2 big studs in the booth. I'm Hail Monkey Man, and we are joined tonight by none other than the man himself. It is K-Dog, Kev
What is
Dog,
up, guys?
my man with the plan. Let's get you in there. Looking great, looking awesome, and thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We have two fantastic sets. I don't know if you've seen them already down below. It is Bandits versus the Mob, and it's Avalanche versus Spartans. But K-Dog, let's get a little bit of introductions coming out from you. You have been in this community for at least a hot minute, and I want you to tell us all about what you've been doing and how it got you here tonight.
Well, first of all, it's just an honor to be here, honestly. Just gonna start with that. But I have been around the scene doing event operations, casting, and just overall organizing events for well over a year now. And everything I've done has led me to this exact moment. Be friends with you, Monkey, and just overall have one hell of a good time.
Hey, you know what? That's what I've been hoping to hear. And honestly, you're welcome. Everyone's welcome to join me in the booth. It is great to see even more talent come down the pipe and to see you guys really try to make a statement here in the FLG community. We have two fantastic teams now lining up. Two of our teams tonight have already played one another, but they'll be playing separate opponents. The Spartans are coming in with a hot 1-0 with a 3-1 game win percentage over the Bandits. The Bandits facing their first loss against the Spartans, but now we're going to go against the Mob, and the Mob were looking pretty good in the preseason. This is our first match of the night. We're talking about the Mob. Mob is led by Krister Bob. He's got a couple of good weapons behind him, and we'll go ahead and, of course, reveal these rosters for you. I want to make sure, of course, if you guys have not already seen, there's a little bit of polling going on, so make sure that you get in on all of that and get your opinion out there. So we got Krister Bob, Moki Joe, and the Exotic Stu, who was a captain last season for season 4 for this draft series, but it's against Call Me Kenneth, Royalty, Hero Aster. Who do you think has the advantage going into this matchup?
I want to say Mob has the advantage. I'm rooting for Mob this series. Honestly, I feel like with Krister Mob, Moki Joe, and Exotic, I kind of feel like they have the upper advantage. They have a little more well-rounded playstyle than Call Me Kenneth and the Bandits. So I'm just looking to see what can happen in the series.
Hey, make sure you guys give your opinion, because I think the opposite of you entirely. Call Me Kenneth was leading a very fast-tracked casuals at the end of season 4. They just came up a little bit short in the playoffs. Royalty, I know him personally. He's a pretty darn good striker. And Hero Aster, I think, is going to be the X factor that really leads the Bandits over the edge. For those of you that may be new to us, we have 2 point systems going on in the chat for you to be interactive and also excited for what you do and what we do here. If you do some betting between the two different teams, you can bet up to 100 of our battle points and to be able to get yourself into a drawing, as well as you can just be watching us, hang out with us, and get your FLG boost points as well. 5k boost points, redeem that, and you also get in a drawing, both of them for Team Frontline hoodie and jerseys forthcoming. And so the polls will be closing here in just a moment, but we're going to be getting into the match forthcoming, and I want to thank everyone that has joined us for this Friday. It is our first weekend of league play, and it is going to be a great one. These guys are now going to be joining the field as we hit Neo Tokyo. The storyline as it stands is that the Mob and the Casuals has taken over Neo Tokyo because the ninjas ran away to go to the temple. We're getting down to the field, and it's time to see these guys strike first. Krister Bob and his Mob, they want to get in there. And again, we're going to remind everyone, this is Diamond 1 through Champ 1 play. So if you see a little bit of, 50-50s going on and a little bit of wonkiness in terms of mechanics, well, it's still developmental, but it's still doing very well in league play. Tell me a little bit, whenever you kind of think of ranked versus league, what do you really kind of think of in the difference? There's a little bit more chemistry, a longer term to kind of set these teams. What do you look for between these two teams in just week 1?
In week 1, I'm kind of looking for who can gel the most in rotations, because week 1 is kind of new to the league. Not many people have the great chemistry that they can have going into having, per se, in ranked, queuing up with some of your friends. You most likely will have the chemistry there, being able to do the comms and everything. But I feel like these teams are not yet being able to adapt quite well together. So let's just see what can happen, see who's able to take the first goal.
And as the first minute goes by of week 1 play, these two guys, these two teams still filling each other out. A setup opportunity, a nice clear by Krister Bob. Royalty trying to extend the play. We're now within the mob side of the field, but a little bit of a clear is going to take it over to the halfway line. A no touch from the back defensive men. Krister Bob trying to look a little bit of pressure into that corner. And just like you said, they had week 0 to do a lot of pre-season matchups and scrims, maybe get this chemistry working, and this is going to be a little bit of nerve-wracking. You're the first thing on stream for the season, and you got to shake off those nerves.
Indeed. Already those couple double commits that we could see from Mob, but I feel like they can easily take it back and get a goal. Just kind of hoping for something to happen.
Moki Joe, he set it up. Krister Bob can't put it away. He was able to beat 2. I honestly think Moki Joe kind of let off on the pedal whenever he was trying to leave that goal for someone else from his team to get. He had a shooting opportunity all his own. Moki Joe, Krister Bob, it doesn't matter who goes for it. It will be the Big Joe himself striking first for the Mob.
What a goal by Moki Joe with the pass from Krister Bob. And honestly, right there, like we said, we are just trying to see who will get the first goal, and it was indeed Mob taking it 1-0 with 2:52 left on the clock.
A nice bit of Mob mentality as both those guys just run straight at the net, able to put some pressure on. Good clear by Exotic Stu. Exotic Stu, I'm surprised he didn't come back as a captain, but he decided to come into the free agency as a player, got drafted by none other than one of his greater rivals of the previous season. They were working well together. Krister Bob holding up the midline as Moki Joe tries to get a touch under this ball. Will work into the corner. Hero Aster been very quiet as of this early game point. A nice clear just past the post, but seeing a lot of Mob take up a position into the half of the Bandits. What are the Bandits lacking so far?
Right now, what the Bandits are lacking is passing plays and the ability to clear the ball successfully onto their half. And as I say that, what an amazing shot! And it just, the perfect dunk from Kenneth to make it 1-1 with just over 2 minutes left on the clock. What do you think of that play?
You got to feel for Exotic Stu. He accidentally fed it to the mid right in front of his own net. He came back to slap it down, but continuous play was able to give the Bandits their first goal. Able to tie this up. 2 minutes remaining in game number 1. So best of 5s now in the regular season. We gave him best of 3s when it was the preseason. Let him kind of practice it up. Exotic Stu trying to make it for a chip shot. He just can't get around the post. And Royalty able to slow down the offensive. That is one the Mob is going to want to get back.
As we see Krister Bob just trying to make a little bit of play, trying to get the ball into that net, but not being able to get it close to the net. And right now, what we're looking at is just a bunch of double commits and unsuccessful clear attempts. But right now, both teams are looking pretty strong on their offense. So, who do you think will take this game 1?
I mean, right now it's going to be if the Bandits can take advantage of these double commits coming out of the Mob, they are going to be able to win out. There's a double commit now coming from the Bandits. Moki Joe just to put it on. All 3 of the Mobsters just standing for the net like, okay, who's actually going to put this in? Exotic Stu comes screaming forward, and he's not going to let that ball rest for a single second outside of the net any longer.
Still, what an amazing play by Mob. Krister Bob keeping it towards the midfield, and just the pass and play from Exotic and Moki Joe, just making it 2-1 in this game 1.
I mean, this is the jitters that you got to kind of get out. Oh, double. No, it will go wide. But that was a defensive miscue that is going to give the Mob this advantage for the next 60 seconds remaining in game number 1. Cole McKinnon trying to imply a little bit of runaway out of his own half, but he will not be gone for long. This one coming down, top shelf. Give it to Exotic.
Amazing shot.
Oh no, the party was destroyed. That's fine. It's okay.
Exotic with an amazing shot, crossbar down, might have bounced, but still, what an amazing angle for this rank. Well, but still, the skill in each rank definitely does not imply here, because every single one of these competitors all are proving why they should be better than Champ 1.
Archaic, the GM of his Mob, looking on with pride. He's able to get all 3 levels of competition for this Season 5 League Series, and they're proving it to be a very good draft for him so far. Krister Bob chasing after 30 seconds left, 2 goals down. It's a very stark scenario for the Bandits, but the good news is they can shake off all this rust. Both these teams looking to just kind of get in there, start series play, another double. This is where communication needs to come into play. The Bandits really couldn't clean it up. The Mob, I mean, they had some doubles come out, but it was the creativity that gave them a chance. There's still a chance here. 5 seconds left. You cannot write off the Bandits.
Kenneth getting an amazing pop over Moki Joe where he just wasn't able to get up high enough, putting it into the bottom left corner. And right now they have 5 seconds left to get 1 goal. They have to get a kickoff, win the kickoff or lose it, and try to go for an air dribble passing play. You never know. But as it's getting down to 0.
It's now airborne. Royalty has to get up under this ball. No connection. Moki Joe keeps it alive. Hero Aster, he's going to be given a chance, but he will be pressured. This has gone to all the way to the back wall. Back flips all around. Call me Kenneth. Oh, his front fender will not be able to play against physics, and that will touch ground. Mob, they take game number 1 in earnest. Let's take a little bit of a look at the stats here. Exotic Stew, 2 out of 6, hitting 30% from the field, but he was kind of one of their massive shooters as Moki Joe and Krister Bob set him up. He knocked him down. Bandits fell behind. Which team is honestly double committing more? Because it seems like it's the Bandits, but it's offensive, it's defensive. It's a communication issue?
It's more the Mob. And communication issue, it could be, yes, but at least lower ranks is more common to miscue on rotations because most people don't know how to rotate back or rotate behind in order to go to third man. But right now, the Mob actually is getting many more double commits than I've seen from Bandits. But what we can see here is just the play style of Krister Bob just being more of a tactical play and not really going for more of the offensive plays, passing it to Exotic Stew and Moki Joe, and that's working for them.
Do you think his name is Christopher?
I feel like it is.
I mean, it's Krister. It's kind of like a cool version of Chris or Christopher. Yeah. I could dig it. This is pretty cool. So, working our way into game number 2. I want to see a little bit more spread. I want to see better rotations out of both these sides. Offensively, defensively, either side is a little bit antsy. But we're going to go in-game. Game number 2, forthcoming. Mob lead the series 1-0.
Indeed. As Exotic Stew is passing it towards mid, let's see what Mob can do with this. It's going to touch down, giving Royal all the time he needs. But right now...
Good extra dribbling. Call me Kenneth. Take advantage of that, but they have not been able to really escape their half. I mean, I think they can get possession all they like, but it all only goes for the front third of the pitch. But now extending the play, Hero Aster trying to turn his unit, slow things down. Exotic Stew will then speed things right back up, cuts in between. Hero Aster, last man on deck. Moki Joe cannot take handles on the ball. So far, this is kind of reminiscent of game number 1. The opening minute was just a bit of a volley between these two teams as to who can kind of just start working into position on the opponent's side.
Indeed, I feel like the first 2 games are all about the nerves. Who is less nervous, who can keep calm under pressure. But game 3 to game 5, if there ever is going to be a game 4 or 5, will be a true test of skill, and because the nerves are always gone by that time.
Joe trying to collect it from the low side. It's going to be Exotic Stew. Exotic Stew, massive proponent right now, and the weapons for the Mob. Royalty missing a give and go. Hero Aster's going to have to turn away because he sees Moki Joe now coming upfield. Eventually, he's going to need to go for that challenge. He was kind of letting the Mob just get right in his face. Bandits now on the attack. Call me Kenneth, able to steal some boost. Double commit on defense, rolling past the post. Hero Aster looking for a middle give. Royalty trying to get a very, very particular angle, but that was me from the outside. And now the Mob striking forward. We have no goals yet, and at this point, it was the same thing in game 1. Has anything really changed between these two teams?
Not really. We're still seeing a bunch of double and triple commits and rotation errors from both teams. Mob I've seen more of still, but the possession from Mob has gotten a lot less I've seen. Bandits have started taking control, and it's working for them, keeping the ball on Mob's half.
Definitely right. I'm starting to see a little bit more creativity. However, that's opening the back line. Krister Bob might be able to bowl it in. What a save!
What an amazing save by Royalty.
Moki Joe going to toss it to the corner yet again. They're going to wait on Royalty to try and clear this out. A little bit of apprehension on the way of the Bandits, but they are winning these 50-50s. Count 1, count 2. Will this be 3? No, he cannot get back in time. Out of boost, out of time to make that shot. But the Bandits get those comms open because they're getting demoed and they're getting hurried in the midfield.
I feel like the meta is just working for the Bandits now. They're starting to learn that demoing the mob will definitely relieve some pressure and give them more opportunities. So if they keep doing it, who knows? Maybe they'll sink one in the back of the net.
Passing opportunity coming here as Royalty is going to turn it. Hero Aster just has to get there in time. A little bit of a help from Exotic Stew, but that will be the first lead the Bandits have had this match.
The amazing passing from Royalty to Hero Aster. Hero Aster had a small twitch inside of going for the shot, but still went in after everything they've been through. And now it's 1-0 with just over 2 minutes left on the clock in game 2.
2 minutes to go. The Bandits have definitely gotten a little bit more creative with the mob, followed with Exotic Stew. I can't tell if he stole this or not. No, he sent it off the wall. Milky Joe with a fantastic shot on, and that might have sunk in without a touch from Exotic, but you know, he'll put himself on the stat sheet again. Why not?
Just the steal from Exotic. Always make sure that you always have some type of fun, even when you're playing in a serious league such as FLG.
Oh, but nearly able to respond immediately to counterplays coming out of both these teams. Royalty, he's going to try and steal this from the front line. Turn around to the side wall, but Krister Bob going to go for a clear. Krister Bob straight up said to me the other night that he is going for fat dubs on any team that comes at him, and hopefully wants to go undefeated. Last captain I knew that did that, he took fat L's for a long time. So Krister Bob, very confident in his team, and why not Mob, and able to apply a ton of pressure for the Bandits. Responding very well in game number 2. Milky Joe is going to dribble into the forward corner. Royalty does not get there in the nick of time to be able to dodge that. Exotic Stew leaves it for Call Me Kenneth. And they're stuck at 1 with 1:10 remaining on the clock. What can the Bandits do to finally get this lead back for them?
All the Bandits need to do is start breaking down the defensive mob. The defensive mob has been pretty well rounded so far, as we see Exotic Stew getting a demo on Kenneth.
Oh no!
What an amazing double tap by Exotic! Getting the demo on Kenneth and leaving it to the back wall just to put it into the top right corner.
Ooh, you gotta feel for Hero. He took a heroic backflip right at the goal line, and that is not when you want to be celebrating, Hero. You gotta do something heroic before you can start acting like that. And again, the lead now goes the way of the mob. For the first time, honestly, in game number 2, the Bandits, they're looking for space, looking for real estate behind the back of their wheel treads. Milky Joe, extra connection. Now for the midline again, Call Me Kenneth trying to rotate forward. He's gonna go head against Exotic Stew, and Milky Joe trying to dodge him away. Kenneth has been, honestly, I've seen this time and time again now between all 3 of these Bandits. There is anxiety towards trying to make that touch against a forthcoming attacker. They need to get in there, slap him in the face, and take possession of the ball.
Indeed. But I do feel like the mob is listening to what I'm saying, because I keep talking about the meta of demoing, and they keep going for it.
Off the crossbar, and the pressure will come in.
Royalty with an amazing shot after it hits crossbar, proving that pressure will always break down defense, leaving the net wide open just for you to tie it up.
Man, that was a great individual effort. He was able to bait up every defender to come to him, to the crossbar, to the post, and then Royalty taking a very clutch shot to be able to tie this up in the waning seconds. 5 remaining. Krister Bob, he's looking for a double. No one's there to defend it. He cannot get that off the backboard, leaving it for Exotic Stew. Very precarious situation. The Bandits could respond to this. No one's going to be underneath it, and it will go down and dead. We're heading to overtime, game 2. Will this be a kickoff goal?
I'm feeling not with the defense that's been happening.
Oh, boy.
I almost bit my tongue.
Yeah, you kind of want to keep that one in check. I always ask because someone always says it.
Yeah, cast his skirts.
Exotic Stew, counterplay. He's able to slow this down for the time being. They're staying very defensive. It is a 2-1 on the back line of the Bandits. Hero Aster is going to rotate away and leave the defensiveness to Call Me Kenneth. Sets it up in front of Royalty. Royalty, he's going to burn through 30 more boosts. He's going to flutter his wheels all the way down, but that's a nice big boomer. Trying to set it from off the ceiling. Milky Joe going for a straight line shot, just rolling it on the ground. Hero Aster He put a little bit more bang on that ball. He would have gotten it, but it doesn't matter. Royalty going bowling. Less than a minute in overtime. We have a tie series.
Royalty finding the open net, putting it to where Mokijo could not get it whatsoever. What an amazing shot by Royalty. What do you think Bandits did better this game than from game 1 for them to be able to take it?
Creativity with pressure, creativity and persistence in getting to the Mob's half. They did not exist in the Mob's half for the greater part of game 1. They had every mobber, every mobster in their face, and they just couldn't get there. So this time, pass plays really showed out. Call Me Kenneth, I think, was a ghost. It was either him or Hero Aster was a ghost in game number 1, and there was a huge difference in terms of participation. 13 shots to 3. The Mob had shotguns pointing at their face, tons of balls just being thrown to the back wall, to the post, to everywhere, and they were on their heels. Now, they kept it within 1, and the Bandits really had to find a way to get their goals, but when you're pushed on your heels for that long, it's gonna cost you eventually if you cannot escape. And this was the same. This is a flip of game number 1 to 2. So I mean, do you think the Bandits can be as consistent as this?
I'm feeling Bandits actually can be as consistent as this, but Mob will definitely have to pick up the pace, make sure they're locking down the rotations for them to get the 2 more games that they need. But right now, as it looks, Bandits with their strong play in this game, they might just take this entire series.
Very true. We're just waiting, forthcoming, for the server to respond, and we should be getting into our next bit of game number 3. The winner of this next game will be an advantage for this series. I wonder if the server went down. Oh, nope.
Server went down.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so we're gonna be resetting this. I apologize. You know,
Indeed.
At least we're getting games in. You know, so we're gonna hopefully get into this real quick.
Invite me back to the party, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. Let me get you back in here.
Yeah, what's a party, man?
It's party's over here. There you go. All right. So, appreciate all you guys being with us tonight. No, I don't want to play ranked. Not that it would be bad. I'm sure we'd win we'd win every single game.
Definitely, of course.
Who could take us? Honestly.
Obviously, nobody.
Nope, nobody could take us. We're the best.
Obviously, bring in NRG, bring in PK.
Yeah.
Still can't take us.
All right, so right now, what key player do you need to stand up on either team to be able to take advantage in this series? We got Krister Bob, Monkey Joe, Stu for the Mob, and we got Kenneth, Royalty, and Hero for the Bandits. Who is going to be the one to stand up?
I'm feeling, for Bandits, the one to stand up is going to definitely be Hero. And for Mob, I want to say Exotic, honestly. He's been proving himself quite worthy in these past 2 games. And right now, we just need to see a little more of them, but the passing plays and rotations will definitely come into factor for this 3rd game.
I mean, it's true. Exotic has been huge, like every single time. You see him putting on shots. I mean, he may steal a goal or 2, but him and Moki Joe really carrying the load. I think that honestly that's the better part of not that they're much better than their 3rd, but that's the greater part of this team right now. Krister Bob, I think he understands the tools that he has at his discretion to be able to utilize and work with. So just let him loose. Play as your 3rd. Do a 2-1, 2 up, 1 back, and just let him play. But for the way of the Bandits, it's a more holistic team concept because a lot of I think Hero definitely had to kind of really come to his own. He has great potential in his mechanics, and I just didn't see it. Maybe a little bit of shell shock, trying to really get into the series play, and it's a little bit different. I mean, when you're off stream, it's you don't have all eyes on, and so it takes off a little bit of that, but it's still your league play. And 2 of these teams, the Bandits and then the Spartans, will have played 2 matches of their 5 for the entire season. That's 40% of your season play. Bandits looking to possibly go 0-2 if they lose this series, which would be greatly detrimental for the top 4 out of the 6 teams we have in Challenger League to make the playoffs. So you got a lot of pressure between all these guys.
Indeed they do, and I'm looking over at chat real quick for Exotic Stu. He said, total accident, by the way, went for the bump, almost blocked the shot. I'm going to count it as a goal stolen.
It's all right, Stu. Well, it looks like we got everyone back in our server. So we're going to get into the game itself. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Sometimes things happen and sometimes they don't. But FLG, it's all about the do. So, can Stu and company get this series lead back and be able to put some pressure onto the Bandits and possibly force them 0-2? Will Bandits be able to overcome and get their first series win of the season? Oh, call me Kenneth. There was a free dunk just sitting there, but it eventually creeps in. Hero Aster. Oh my goodness, is this server dying? What is this?
The server isn't dying for me, so I feel like we're good. But Hero Aster, like I said, is gonna definitely be pulling out all the stops, getting the first goal with under 20 seconds into the game, already 1-up for the Bandits.
That was a lot of kickoff pressure. Oh, this server is apparently terrible. We'll make sure to change off of this one in a bit. But right now we're going to focus on the mob, trying to bounce back. Krister Bob throwing it downfield into the corner. Moki Joe's going to steal that big boost, which may slow down the defense response. Exotic Stu, front side. Moki Joe with another toss, dropping it over to Krister Bob. This is some good pass plays that are extending the offensive for the mob. But then an immediate counter. Oh my goodness, what a pinch from the opposite side of the field. The mob, they're finding ways to escape. This is definitely where they suffered at the end of game 2, when the Bandits flourished and was able to give them the game win.
Indeed it was. Mob was not pulling up the defense that we all thought they were going to be. Right now there's nobody back, so hopefully Mob will be able to put a little more defense into this game, and stop the Bandits' plays, seeing where it could take them.
Royalty waiting patiently. Stu's dropping it off. That is 3 mobbers all in the same corner. Krister Bob from the side wall. Nice clear by Kenneth, but they will continue the attack. There's only one left of the post, and Royalty reads it very fine. Call me Kenneth trying to come back around. That is 2 again. And Mob, they are eventually going to get punished. A great stand-up touch, because otherwise that was going to be an open goal, but they have too many men in the middle of the field. Hero Aster, that's his second goal, and that is a 2-goal lead for the Bandits.
Already we can see the bump coming from Royalty on Moki Joe, as Moki Joe heads towards the boost in his corner, but Hero Aster is going to keep the pressure up and making it 2-0. Who do you think Mob will be able to come back in this game, or will it be a strong push, making it 2-1 in the series?
Right now, the Bandits are kind of finding their own. They've been able to kind of really disrupt what the Mob was successful at, and that was applying pressure on their offensive half. But all of the rotations have broken down. They've been able to kind of leave them dry from boost, but it's built on consistent touches from the Bandits. They did not have this in game 1, and I've seen time and time again, sometimes game 1 doesn't go to the better victor. It actually just goes to who was ready for the start of the series. This could end up being a 3-1 in way of the Bandits if they can continue this kind of offensive. Hero Caster, nice set. Kenneth did not come from the midfield. That one would have been a shooting opportunity, and that's just something that they're going to have to learn and trust from one another as we go throughout the season.
Indeed. And we see Hero going for the double touch, not quite being able to get it.
Kenneth, a little bit wonky. Hero's winning these 50s, and he gives one off for Kenneth. That is 3-0, and just no one could just get past Hero. Look at this.
With the open net, Hero demolishing all 3 defenders, leaving it wide open for Kenneth, making it 3-0. Hero's definitely being the person stepping up for the Bandits.
He's just killing it. I mean, it's just working because he knows just throwing his car, getting the 50, and no one from the Mob is able to make any kind of non-standard creative play like they did in game 1. Trying to go for something here. Exotic Stu by his lonesome. Moki Joe is getting dunked on again. Who else but Aster? Aster, oh my goodness, might as well be a setup. Is it 5 versus 1? Is anyone on the opposite team? Kenneth will get the 4th goal, and the Bandits are running away.
Just the pressure by Hero Aster coming into this game is definitely making Mob get back on their heels, and now he's just pushing all the mobsters over.
Yeah, it's almost just done. 2 minutes left in game number 3. Remember, the winner of this one will have game point or match point advantage going forward. Bandits, they have all the leniency to kind of do whatever they feel like with all the comfort of home, and end up getting a save facing his post.
seen
that.
plenty of saves throughout Rocket League's history, but none that I know of from getting bumps, pinching it off of your own post.
Yeah. We're gonna make sure that there is gonna be a server reset after this one. So if you see the server health blinking, well, it's bad. But everyone apparently is acting on the same ping. So we'll make sure that all the server health stuff is taken care of. Swift shot and a backflip. Honestly, the Bandits seem to be their own worst enemy, and the only time that they're letting in any goals is if they just kind of will it to be so for the mob.
Indeed, but we do see just a little bit of friendly, just own team push down.
I mean,
playing with the
he's
cover.
one
What a
saving
save
himself.
from-
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I would do the same thing. It's like
honestly.
great passing myself. Yeah.
I mean, just to show that everything's fun and games until the very end.
Now Exotic. He's within 3 points. His fun and games involves winning. He's gonna try and go for one onto the backboard here. Royalty streaking inward. Oh no!
That the Bandits' own enemy was their own self. I think that's truly the mob. I know it's hashtag mob mentality, but the mentality for the mobsters are not here just bumping each other, getting the own goal.
What?
Somebody clip that.
What a team play. That was great. That was mob mentality. Archaic, these boys, what have you been feeding them? These are wild. Royalty gonna go for a straight line shot, and Exotic Stu doing all he can to just keep something from going in the net. It's either gonna be the Bandits scoring on them, or it's gonna be the mob themselves scoring. 35 seconds remaining. Game number 3 well in the hand for the Bandits, and we'll have another reset forthcoming after this. I mean, definitely gonna chalk this one up to a mix of things. Maybe the server's acting up, who knows? But there's also a whole lot of confusion on the side of the mob, and they just, either their comms are wrong, or they just are not able to kind of collect themselves. Something is amiss.
Definitely, they were proving themselves worthy in the first game of the series, but lately in game 2 and this game 3, they have not been pulling out any of the stops, own goaling, getting a consolation goal maybe, but nothing to truly show that the mob mentality is there to stay, and that the mob mentality will be able to pressure Bandits into the 0-2 series standings.
All right, we're gonna take a little bit of a reset here. So reset. So we're gonna get out of that one. Forthcoming.
But don't forget,
Don't forget.
if you have a Twitch Prime sub, go ahead and sub to FLG. If I'm not mistaken, we only need 12 more subs for something.
So 12 more subs for something. All right, so just a little notification. So just like he said, if you would like to sub, if you would like to throw bits or any kind of donations to the FLG, just know that it is immediate reciprocation to all the leagues that we do. All of the money pools that go towards these kinds of leagues, these seasons, especially tournaments forthcoming, as we are going to kind of revitalize that scene that come with pre-made teams and orgs. It all comes back to you. And so we appreciate it. The reason we have the 12 out there is because due to draft day, we got up to 38 subs, which was amazing. And so if we get 12 more, we actually get to unlock the final emote or emoji slot that would allow us to give you 5 from the FLG. So right now we actually have someone working on that. Hopefully by next week we'll actually have them available to all of you that have already subbed. We do have 2 currently. One is, of course, one of our favorite members of the community, Twins, whenever he shaved his head. The other one is the FLG Shield with a GG on it. And we're going to have even more, maybe a mix of those kind of being retired and coming out. So regardless, we hope to reciprocate as much as we can to you and the community. However, let's get back to the match as we have reset a server. Hopefully it's healthier than before. It's game 4. The Bandits looking for their first series win of the season and looking to inflict some damage onto the mob and give them their first loss.
Indeed. Right now, Bandits are showing strong, making it 2-1 in this series. In the chat, put down who do you think will win and who do you want to win?
Yeah, it's either going to be mob mentality or, I don't know. I never figured it out for the Bandits. Pew pew. Guns up. I don't know. something like that.
We need something.
Yeah,
also in the chat, put a cool slogan for the Bandits. We want to know what you guys want.
Oh, going for a direct line bowling shot. Hero Aster trying to take advantage of a little bit of the crisscross applesauce. But this one could drop down. Bit of mathematical, and it will be a high-scoring teardrop shot. Royalty strikes first, 35 seconds into Game 4.
What an amazing shot from Royalty, banging it off the ceiling, just landing it straight into the goal. Just over 30 seconds into Game 4, already 1-0 for Bandits.
Yeah, that one's rough because it's really hard to read off of the ceiling already, and then you don't know if it has the distance to make it underneath the crossbar. Now another setup. Call Me Kenneth trying to replicate the same thing. Hero Aster there just like a half second, maybe even a quarter second too soon. Trying to go get a touch, be able to counterplay this. Hero Aster, who's getting stolen. Right out from under him, Moki Joe takes the ball away. Bandits now trapped a little bit in their own half. To the back line. Call Me Kenneth, no touch, bowling it in. Moki Joe off post, and they will eventually mob up, slam down. Krister Bob ties us in 1-1.
The amount of times that hit post and backboard in the past 3 games from Mob is now all coming to a close as Krister Bob just puts it in to the back of the net, making it 1-1.
Talk about oh my goodness. I was going to say, talk about focus from Krister Bob, but talk about the lack of focus from the rotations on the back line of the Bandits. No touch. Oh, Call Me Kenneth. He went for something fancy. He was trying to do a very fast kickoff, and he'll pay for that in spades as now a 2-goal swing goes the way of the Mob.
You just got to feel for Kenneth and the Bandits just absolutely whiffing the kickoff, making it a kickoff goal for Bob. And Krister Bob going off in Game 4, pulling out all the stops, making it 3-1 with literally less than a minute 30 into the game.
Yeah, we were at, what, 4:25 when the first goal was scored by the Bandits. It's been all of a minute and 5 seconds, and 3 goals have gone by, and the Mob, well, they're showing they want to go to Game 5. There's a little bit of a kiss between teammates on the back line. Exotic Stu and Moki Joe getting intimate, but they separate before the camera sees them for too much longer. Call Me Kenneth. He's going to go to the post. Exotic Stu is actually going to leave it as a high hanging ball. Bit of a pinata to get popped, but no one from the Bandits puts on a meaningful amount of pressure. Royalty, Krister Bob, captain of this Mob, is really showing why he's in that leadership position. Hero trying to get in the way of it. Moki Joe wants to get in on the action. It's 4-1. The Mob trying to steal this one from the Bandits.
The pressure from the Mob is unlike what we've seen in these past 2 games. We saw a little bit coming out from Mob in the first game, but now they're proving that they can take back what is rightfully theirs and win this game, number 4. But there's still 3 minutes left on the clock. Anything could happen.
Definitely.
3 minutes to score 3 goals, that's completely easy. It's up to whether Bandits have enough in the tank in order to get to it.
They gotta stay focused though. I'm starting to see the same double commits that plagued them before. Going for a bump. Call Me Kenneth could not get rid of Stu, or else that would have been a kill. Call Me Kenneth destroyed himself onto Krister Bob. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Nearly getting a double right there out of Moki. A great defensive touch. Royalty, no touch here to be able to get the clear, and Call Me Kenneth just barely holding down the back line. The Bandits are stuck, trying to like defend the Alamo or something here in Neo Tokyo, but they are getting shot left, right, and center.
This is Challenger, right?
This is Challenger.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, they're getting better. I'm telling you, there's, you know, it's the wonkiness of being like a Diamond 3 up to Champ 1. You can do great and terrible things all at the same time.
Just pulling into RLCS already. Come on, Psionic. These people are too nutty. And Krister Bob getting another one with 2 minutes left on the clock, giving them a 4-goal barrier.
Getting a little bit, I mean, look at that. A little bit of an assist. Moki Joe just threw the underside of Krister Bob upwards. You slammed him like a 2x4 onto the ball, and then Royalty just did not expect the extra amount of speed. That was definitely calculated.
According to Exotic, it was not calculated.
All right, well, the Bandits, they have some time. I've seen crazier things happen, but they definitely have to get things going right now if there's going to be a chance to end this in this regulation for game number 4. Mob, they smell blood in the water. They are Mob Sharks. Oh, Moki Joe, was he a little caught out? Not too far. But definitely. I mean, do you think the server definitely was the kind of the linchpin that helped out the mob here?
I don't think it's server. I feel like well, actually, it could be because when we had to reset the server, the momentum reset because nobody's going straight back to back into the game. Now everybody took a small break, had to collect their thoughts, and that time easily could have been given to the mobs to see what they could improve on for Game 4.
Definitely true. 6-1. We're looking for the Brazil. Minute 15 remaining. The mob, they would love the Brazil on these bandits. They got Game 2 taken from them. Game 3, they had heartache. Just could not ever get things going. And there's been a lot more in the tank for the bandits to complete, and they can't even get what could have been an open goal. All right, so you're looking at the end part of game number 4 here. What do you take away as the bandits? I mean, there's got to be something to really
I haven't seen anything
on.
from the bandits, honestly.
I mean,
besides right now, Royalty making it to make me bite my tongue, saying I didn't see anything from the bandits, but he comes in clean with the wide open shot because Krister Bob just panicked back on defense, leaving him out of position to go for a save. And unless he could magically get enough boost to go for a squishy save, you never know.
I mean, it's tough. That's a fast maneuver that you have to do with the utmost precision, and I think it's a ballsy thing to try. But when you're up 5, why not, right?
Indeed. I mean, after all, this is Rocket League.
It is.
I've wanted to say it so long.
Moki Joe trying to roll on back. Krister Bob leaving it. Royalty is just not going to dig this one out of its own grave. Looking to try and clear this ball the entire rest of the way. Brazil not going to happen because we got the 2 on the board. We will be heading to game number 5. What a way to start off week 1 on stream for Challenger League. Both these teams not giving up until the very last second. We're going to see who will be able to sweat it out and make it all the way to the end of this series.
Indeed, as ball touches down. From Mob and the Bandits both, have you seen a little bit of greater communication skills and rotations? Or has it just been a who can put the shot on net situation?
Oh, man. I mean, there was definitely a couple times that I felt for the Bandits because they were just a little bit off target. But it's been a pendulum swing in terms of who is going to have the better rotations in possession. And that's a huge kind of calling card when it comes to Challenger League. Those that can accomplish not just mechanics, but also good game awareness to where they should be, along with their teammates at all given times, will come out the victor. And it just seems that kind of, I don't know, there seems to be studying going on for either team at different paces as these games develop. Bandits have the ability to quick strike and disrupt the mob, but the mob has, I guess, just like what we talked about, a mob mentality to get in there, constantly attack, go to the post, and never let up.
Indeed. So far, what we've kind of seen is just a little bit of inconsistency, which is obvious comparing to the ranks that these people are at. But then we go ahead and see just Hero going off into the back of the net, putting everything in. And you kind of question, what's the skill gap between each of these players? Is it an unfair advantage for Mob or Bandits? Which I cannot say so because it is tied 2-2. This is game 5 in the first series of week 1 on stream Challengers Division.
Remember, we will have another one forthcoming. It will be the Avalanche and the Spartans right after this. We'll take a short break when all this is said and done, but for the time being, I'm hoping that this goes to overtime. Why not create a fun rivalry right from the get-go? Royalty is trying to get around 2. What a flick to get past 2. Makes them both baited up. Oh, and Hero Aster, he just kind of matrixed away from the ball.
I mean, you always love to see it, just the backflips coming in. Definitely could be a little bit of inconsistency, like I said, but we need to see more of Hero Aster in this game, and Kenneth. We've been seeing Royalty carrying the team last game, but it just wasn't enough.
Krister Bob ended up giving a little bit of a pinch, and Exotic Stu going right back to business. I think Krister Bob had realized that I'd said Moki Joe and Stu were the main weapons of this offense, and he wants to prove me wrong. Moki Joe with a miss on that lane, and now trying to turn the corner. Call me Kenneth. The Bandits need to get something moving here because they have hurt egos. Very, very poor possession and positioning when it comes to the midfield. However, they're now starting to press the advantage. Moki Joe from the wall. That will come middle. That should be Hero. A little bit off kilter. Does not stay accurate for long. Call me Kenneth. Looking for a bump. And the mob. We are now beyond 1 minute and a half in the game. Number 5. Have you seen anything of difference between these two teams? Who is looking? Oh my goodness! Krister Bob with a fast shot. That one a nice clear from the midfield, and the mob will be up.
If you were going to say who is looking stronger in Game 5, gotta give it to Krister Bob. We've been seeing him a lot lately, and you're kind of wondering where has he been this entire series besides for passing plays.
He's trying to exist where he can. Hero Aster going for an immediate shot. That seems to be what he loves to do. He's not very much a passer as he is just the guy that's going to take the shot after everyone else has already crafted it. Like we see again, direct line. But you know what? Why not throw him at the net? Eventually someone's going to miss.
Eventually, if you keep putting the pressure in, it has to go in somehow, some way. Krister Bob not having any boost, or maybe he did. We do not know. But he just wasn't able to get his ball on his car underneath the ball.
He kind of did. He did a dodge roll, and I mean that it was a sideways one, so you're never gonna get any distance covered. So kind of just came up short. 3 minutes remaining. The mob looking to press on the attack, and Hero Aster, he's gonna get a little bit of a bump aside by Krister Bob. Call me Kenneth chasing after it. It'll be Moki Joe going for a ceiling shot. Call me Kenneth trying to get there first. Nice 50. He's gonna neutralize it and put it in the Bandits' favor. Hero Aster holding the back line. He's now looking for the wall. Royalty was possibly going to set it up. Hero's dead, leaving the back line open, but a great clear from Kenneth. The mob is going to have their attack slowed down and now have to recoil onto their heels.
Indeed. Right now we're just seeing mob be put on defense so often and not so much pressure from the mob mentality. But right now, Krister is still showing us why he belongs and why he's the captain of his team and why he calls the shots.
Joe.
What thing could the Bandits do to conceal the game and just make it theirs?
I mean, right now it's exactly what they're doing. They're splitting up the mob. Mob exists as kind of an entity of like a hydra. They're stronger together than they are apart, and the Bandits are starting to find these creases between the defense. Breaking down Moki Joe. He cannot chase in time. Hero Aster will take advantage of an open back line. All three in a triangle right there in front of the Bandits, and that is an easy shot.
Indeed it was. It was wide open net. Moki Joe wasn't able to get to it. Just barely got onto the ball. But I feel like that's just Rocket League for you. It went in anyway and making it 2-1. Just under 2 minutes left on the clock.
Well, McKenna's trying to go for an easy one, and now Moki Joe's got to get creative. He gets off the ceiling, getting a little bit of a reset. Krister Bob, he's going to have pressure behind him, so he needs to get this touch. Will do so. Call me Kenneth from the 45. And that one set up over to Royalty. A little bit slow. They will continue the attack, arcing it downwards. And right now the mob, it's all they can do to even get it clear. They have been unable to really start setting up plays of their own before the Bandits start going for these open shots. Moki Joe on the interior side of his net. That's a 2-goal lead for the Bandits, and they are striking hard, striking fast, and they are trying to strike down the mob.
Moki, what are you doing? You're just sitting in the back of the net, being like, here, let me just go grab a cookie real quick. But you are needed on the front lines. This is why it's FLG, frontline community. Well,
like
frontline.
Yeah.
Frontline gaming. And we're needing you to be on the front lines, being able to save that shot, but he was not there for it.
Moki Joe getting slapped. Exotic Stu and Krister Bob in the same spot. All three mob are in the same area. Front sector, now getting killed. They either live together, they die together. Krister Bob, he cannot rotate fast enough, and Moki Joe once more trying to collect some boost and go down the pitch. 40 seconds on the clock. Krister Bob, Moki Joe trying to get a demo, cannot get there in time. Exotic Stu by himself. It's a 1v2. Royalty looking for more pressure to continue. That's a kill on the Hero. That's going to give them time to escape. 30 seconds remaining. Down by 2. They have to get one within the next 10. Maybe going to let this drop in. Can't get the clear. No They won't get the insurance goal until maybe now. Hero trying to seal it, and they can't seal the deal. The mob's
The
still
mob.
alive, but now they might just be dead.
This is most likely going to be the end of the mob mentality for this series. But the amount of bumping plays we have seen from mob is just crazy. We saw one going on the rotation's back, two coming into the net, one to save the ball. Where do you think the weakness lies? And is it FF from Krister?
I think it might be an FF. They realize that there's a lot that's going to have to be worked on into the next coming weeks. But the Bandits, they took advantage, and they were able to recoil, to resist, and to find their resolve. The Bandits will win this Game 5 and ultimately take the series over the mob. Congratulations to them. A job well done. The mob, they started fast, they started strong, but it ultimately came down to who could live throughout the entirety of this series. 4-1 to end that Game 5. I mean, just look at these guys. They did so well. I'm proud of them for what they could do, and the mob, they have some work to do to come back to it. So
Indeed.
we've seen them for a hot minute. So we're gonna have to take a moment to find some reprieve as we set up our next server. So we're gonna set up the clock for you. Don't go anywhere. The FLG, along with Kev Dog and Hail Monkey Man, will be back in just a little bit. And I know that you guys are going to be excited because our next matchup is, of course, going to be between the Avalanche and the Spartans. And I know that there is a lot of good and bad blood between these two guys. Give us a moment, and we'll be the ones to share it with you.
I should have said, but I slept I told you secrets I should have kept. You spill them up as I collect. But I fall for it off a million times, like a bad old house, just one peek inside. You're the mystery with hair of history. My hands are red. You're the monster under my bed. Reach for me when I repent, and I should have learned. I should have learned. You're the monster under my bed, making mess I keep trying to address. Cannot come to terms with the monster under my head. Yeah, I should have learned. I should have
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Hail Monkey Man, and of course, we have our good friend Kev Dog in the chat, and as well as in the booth, and all of you here still with us. We are getting ready for our second match of the night. I apologize for the delay. We've had server issues. We've had people joining things late, and overall, we have a regular FLG season going on right now. So, we have another great matchup forthcoming is between the Spartans and the Avalanche. If you did not tune in just a little bit ago, we had the Bandits defeat the Mob in a Game 5 win that, honestly, as we saw the tides turn, it became a little bit, maybe slightly more expected. That's easy to say in hindsight, only because we were able to kind of see how the pendulum was swinging momentum and being able to adjust. But forthcoming into this one, the Spartans looking pretty darn strong. Avalanche performed very well in their preseason matchups against everyone, but the Spartans already 1-0, able to take a 3-1 win just before over the Bandits. So Bandits sitting at 1-1, Mob 0-1, Spartans 1-0. They would love to go 2-0 and pretty much give themselves a really good chance to get towards the playoffs already, even just in week 1 of the season.
Indeed. For the lineup for the Spartans, we have Phoenix, Intuos, and Lethal Tim. And for Avalanche, we have Redline, Icy Panda, and the Smiz. Who do you think is going to win this series?
So, Redline, we got Rap, and we got Icy Panda. Redline did. I think that is the Smiz. If I'm not, it may be someone else. I don't know.
No, or for Avalanche is Redline, Icy Panda, the Smiz, and Rap.
Okay, so Rap. So R4P or Rap or whichever. Doing amazing stuff, but Redline, their captain, very good. He used he actually comes with his own cheering section. He's so good. So he was able to win the Challenger League in Season 4 with the Nova. Very fantastic leader. Phoenix, Intuos, and Lethal Tim, though, I know Phoenix and Lethal Tim. These guys are brothers from other mothers, and they play together a lot. And Intuos is a massive, massive player. I don't think the Avalanche can overcome what the Spartans are going to be throwing down with this one, but I could be wrong. I went with the Bandits last time, and I was right. It took a little bit of squeezing to really get towards the end result here. But you guys should tell us as well who you think is going to be able to take this one. We already have betting up, and we've started a poll that you guys are able to respond to and really kind of tell us about it. There was a lot of people betting on the Mob last time. You were all wrong. You were all wrong.
You're all wrong.
I had that one.
All right. Well, honestly, for this series, I'm going to go with Spartans.
Really? Okay.
My boy Lethal Tim. He has tried out for many teams I've captained, and he has been a powerhouse in every single tryout I've seen. And knowing that the Spartans is half staff, half player, Lethal Tim and Phoenix on staff, Lethal Tim as an admin, Phoenix as a staff member.
I mean, you could say that maybe they have the inside scoop on a few.
They will always have the inside scoop, if you know what I mean.
Hey, it's true. Right now, we're just waiting on the oh goodness, I actually did not rename these. So, you know what? I'll tell them who to be. Reset. Reset names, because I'm a bad person. It's okay.
Nah, bro.
You asked me to do too many things.
It's a rematch of a series. I thought we were doing Mob vs. Bandits again.
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you sure?
you thought? Yes.
Yeah, of course. Just different members.
Of course. You know,
It's
I can
Mob
only keep
vs.
track.
Bandits Part 2.
I can only keep track of so many things. Okay.
Of course.
Eventually, it all falls apart. But now we'll be resetting the server, making sure that this is as fresh as the server as possible. And I know that a lot of you suffered over the last week, especially when it came to play-ins or what have you, to be able to kind of enjoy RLRS or RLCS. Hopefully tomorrow continues to be good. It looks like they applied a good patch and a good bit of database updating when it comes to the game. And I feel for them. That means someone didn't quite stress test enough when it was in the development cycle. So as an IT guy, that really sucks to have on, especially your resume or on your progress report or end of year. It stinks. But I hope you as a community kind of give them maybe like a little slack to be able to make up for it now. But it looks like that we're going to be able to head up into this matchup. Spartans and Avalanche on lock. They're in the lobby, and I know you guys are tired of listening to me. Maybe that's not true. Maybe you just want to listen to me talk. I'm not sure.
You got a sexy voice.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going down to Utopia Coliseum. Can the Spartans fight their way into the Coliseum and conquer the Avalanche? Or the Avalanche stay icy cold and be able to freeze these guys out?
Who knows? Let's find out, because this is game 1 of the series. Best of 5.
Oh my goodness! Rap is gonna end up scoring, gets right in the mix of it, and it looks like there was just a breakdown as everyone came careening back from defense.
Already, with just under 15 seconds into the game, Rap's already scored one for Avalanche. And it's making me think where the rotations are going to be standing, because this is week 1 after all. But you have said Phoenix and Lethal Tim play together quite often. Where do you think that the chemistry is going to be for each team?
So these guys have been playing a lot together with Intuos when they're able to kind of drag them on in. So I think Lethal Tim is going to be going for a lot more of these shots. Phoenix, they're going to leave him loose to hang out in the midfield, in the mid-paint, right at the opposite end of into their opponent's half. And a shot now forthcoming. Intuos is going to be their wild card. He's going to rotate forward and back to try and really enable the entire team to move fluidly throughout this pitch. And now as we see the Spartans try to escape their half of the pitch, Icy Panda waiting on the midfield line boost. He's going to take that one, dribble over. That's a nice flick, but nice posture. Intuos leaves it for Phoenix to clear. So far, they haven't really been able to put any true shots. They've had a lot more pressure, and the one counter play from the Avalanche is what gives them the advantage so far in this game.
Indeed. But I gotta ask you one question, Monkey. With all the teams you've seen in Season 5 so far, through Combines and through the teams that you know, I'm just gonna throw a random question out there.
Okay.
What Challenger team do you think could possibly go against a Vanguard team and succeed?
Ooh, a Vanguard team and Challenger team? Oh boy. Depends on which one you're talking about. So
A Vanguard
far,
team name and
yeah.
throw one Challenger team name out.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
And you better not say Thunderchoke.
well, I mean they are kind of a thunder choke. So I see a little
Sitting
bit.
right here, bud.
I see a lot of weakness when it comes to the Vanguard mob, and I feel like well, I mean, it depends on if they can handle it, but I think the Challenger Bandits actually might be able to take on the big brothers of the guys they just beat. So, really depends. Oh, a little bit of craziness. Intuos can't
What a
get there.
save.
Oh my goodness. Rap kept his composure and kept everything alive. Phoenix.
Coming out of nowhere to get that amazing save, the last second goal line save. And I feel like this is why Avalanche is going to be putting him on the front line, I feel like, for this series.
Very well, could be true. Lethal Tim streaking towards the ball. Redline himself. A little bit too high to be able to get a proper touch into us. Oh, he ends up flipping forward instead of going back, going for a bump play. I don't know against who. He just kind of slam dunked himself into the back of the Avalanche net. A little bit of an odd maneuver. I'll take it though.
What works, works.
Hey, but right now, the only difference maker we have is that single counterplay for the Avalanche, taking advantage of a bit of a defensive miscue by Intuos. Intuos, you can see him. He's aggressive. He's going directly middle of net against the Avalanche every single time because he realizes he made a mistake and wants to make up for it.
Indeed. At this rank, do you think that they should be rotating back post? Or do you think that they should just get back to net as quick as possible as Lethal Tim finds a demo in the goal? And Phoenix! What an amazing team play with Lethal Tim getting the demo and Phoenix being able to put it into the net to tie it up 1-1 with just over 1:30 left on the clock.
All right, here's why you rotate back post. One, you open up the field in front of you to be able to respond to anything immediately from your post to the next post of your net. Two, instead of rolling backwards into your net, you can defend yourself a little better by going up onto the wall or being able to streak away from the wall. And Phoenix own goaling on himself. Rap's going to get that one back.
I don't care that he own goal. I'll be honest. Nutty shot.
That was a good shot. It was a direct line. Oh, my goodness.
Backflip for the own goal. Getting the angle. Honestly, this is why it's FLG.
Yeah.
Because we see the craziest plays ever happen.
That's what I love. I love this game because you never know when it's going to be good, when it's going to be bad, and just what if it's going to be good, bad, ugly. Phoenix. Oh, a nice demo opening up a lane. Phoenix is going to bowl a second one in. I want to tell you guys about Phoenix. This guy is a great man. He's a great sounding voice. He's a very, very charismatic chum, and he's also the lowest ranked person on this entire Spartans team. So letting him score all over him, that's gonna start to wear on you mentally.
Indeed, but you do have to give credit where credit is due to Lethal Tim and Intuos because they are pulling out all the stops on the tactical and technical plays against Avalanche, and it's leaving the net wide open for Phoenix to just put it straight in.
Intuos getting aggressive. He didn't think that Lethal Tim was gonna be able to get there. The demos are starting to play a huge part in the offense for the Spartans, and honestly they are taking the spear to this mountain and able to chip away a lot of that ice. Phoenix holding down the front lane, trying to get one now over to Icy Panda. Didn't have to work too hard to get past two forthcoming attackers, but now still rolls back onto the half of the Avalanche. They're looking to escape. 30 seconds remaining. A nice little bit of a doink off the forehead of Lethal Tim. Intuos and Phoenix trying to feel out who's going to take possession. Straight line shot, red line to Tim, off the sidewall. This one, Icy Panda will not be able to field. Phoenix is going to be able to get one past the midfield line. 15 seconds left. Who really is holding the advantage here? Avalanche is putting on the pressure. The shots are there, but they're just not enough to be lethal.
There's not one team in game one so far that has had the advantage. It has been back and forth, volley plays, getting the shots in net, which is a little bit of strategical plays and metas of demoing. But both teams are proving that they are able to hold their own on the pitch while giving the other team opportunities. But this is also why it's always fun to commentate me and you just right now, because it always seems like there's something new you learn or you see in each game.
I'm gonna tell you right now, one of the biggest reasons I love casting is because I get to see an awesome game and I get to talk about it right in front of everyone's face. It's a captive audience, baby, and all these people gotta listen because we get to see some fantastic league play. Phoenix with a nice clear. He's gonna try and get a second one. Will not be able to obtain the 50. Rap, it's a 1v1. Playing the mental game with Intuos. It's a miss. Lethal Tim has to get a connection here. Will do so. Icy Panda causes a backflip. Intuos, he let two in this game, and those two will be the crux of the Spartans.
Just the backflip, all he had to do was back up, but the momentum would bring him forward from going from the back post. So there is always a chance for, if you go back post, for you to whiff the ball because it's going behind you because of the momentum. But just the way Intuos was so pushed up far ahead of the net, just gave him the opportunity to whiff the ball and not have the momentum to get the save.
Yeah, he was caught out most definitely a couple times, and that ended up really hurting him. They're going to want a lot of this back, and I know that Intuos is kicking himself. Twice he was caught out, either with a backflip or just a slight error in turning, and that is the difference maker right now. I want to see a little bit more out of Lethal Tim, obviously, getting down there, taking shots. They had 9 to the likes. Actually, it's 9 on either side, so pretty dead even race in terms of the offensive pressure put against either team, but the Avalanche come away with it. And, I mean, both these teams are very strong. Icy Panda and Redline and Rap, not any sort of slouches. And so I should give them more credit. I really, really should.
You said that at the beginning of this series. You said Redline is one of the stronger players on Avalanche, but right now Icy Panda and Rap is giving you a run for their money. For your money, I mean.
That's true. And honestly, Rap, I haven't seen too much of him from season to season, be it sub, be it free agent. So there's still more to discover as we're able to see him kind of develop on stream with us.
Indeed. But we are going into Game 2, Spartans versus Avalanche. Avalanche did win the last game. Stick around to see who will win the series. Who do you think?
In game, I still hold strong that it's going to be the Spartans. A little bit of a couple flukes. If Intuos can wake up and really make up for what he did, you can tell the aggression is there. He is trying to really just overhaul himself down the field and like everything that he's attempting to do. Now, if he tries to do too much, just right there, his aggression is gonna get punished, and he's gonna leave Tim and Phoenix in very in very awkward positions to try and make up for what he's doing.
Indeed, but I don't think you've noticed yet the fact that there's been so much open space in the Spartans' defense.
Oh!
Icy Panda finding the tap off the back wall, the side wall, whatever you like to call it, getting the angle, the very slim angle that he possibly could, to make it 1-0 with just over 30 seconds into the game.
I can understand why Tim did what he did. That was a great shot, and it was an open shot from the backside wall, but a little bit of a panic. He just stayed on his wheels for a moment longer. He may have been able to make a clutch save at the last second. Good breakaway by the Avalanche so far, and the defense of the Spartans is getting punished. I know that I saw Esper, the GM of this new franchise, Spartans, this is the first time they've ever joined the FLG. It could be the only time they decided to come out and flourish, but maybe someone else will pick them up as well. Only the lone defensive men, and Rap coming again into us with a takeaway. Redline not able to get from the corner. Outside the first minute of play, it seems the Avalanche have really taken up a forward-leaning posture against the Spartans, and they're shutting down every single shot they have.
If you don't forward-lean posture when you're gaming and you're trying to sweat, I don't know what you're doing. You ain't really trying, boys. You're playing casual Carl.
You definitely are. If you're leaning back, it ain't serious. It ain't serious enough. Into us with the win past the midline defender. But he cannot get the entirety of it. That leaves an open net, and Icy Panda, though, slows it down. If there had been a forward touch, that one probably would have been towards the open goal, but that leaves enough time for the defensive rotation to happen from the Spartans. Count their lucky stars. Playing in front of the Emperor of this Utopia Coliseum. Lethal Tim, I don't know what he's doing right there, but he kind of just completely missed that. And this will be Intuos, unable to react in time. Rap, 2 goals up for the Avalanche.
Indeed. Right there was just Lethal Tim doing whatever what is he doing?
I don't know.
He's doing whatever he wants to do because he's Lethal Tim. He's lethal striker when he wants to be, but so far we're not seeing that quite yet in this series. But hopefully Phoenix, Intuos, and Lethal Tim can bring it back, because me and you both are rooting for Spartans. But right now Avalanche is giving them a run for their money.
Someone said fear the rapper when it comes to rap. It's the rap attack, I guess.
Oh God, no. It's a new Pokemon. It's another one. Another Pokemon move. First we got Thunder Choke, and now we got Rap Attack.
Yeah, Rap Attack. Redline. He's going to leave it for Icy Panda, who's trying to drop it from the backboard. This could be another one. Oh, it was a save, but it's going to be a steal. Rap getting his shot taken away. But you know what? I don't think Icy Panda nor anyone on the Avalanche minds. Just an absolute circumstance of a goal. And my goodness.
The only reason why that did not save from Icy Panda dropping down from the back wall was because his front side of his car glitched into the floor, leaving the hitbox to go lower than the floor. being able to bumping it up.
Ooh, Intuos is trying to give it to someone, but Icy Panda, I think, was out of boost and used just enough to be able to get it on the backside of the ball and make a nice save thus far. I've been very surprised with the Spartans. I thought there would have been a little bit more efficiency with how much they play together, but maybe I've just not been paying attention to the Avalanche long enough. Phoenix clear over the midfield line. Intuos and Lethal Tim holding hands on the goal line, getting their boost stolen from them, and it's going to slow them down considerably. Intuos is out of boost. Tim has 12 and now 0, and every single Spartan out here is too darn slow to make this attack work.
If Avalanche was the Persians, I'd say the Persians might rewrite history. They're trying to take it back against Spartans, and the Spartans aren't looking so strong right now. Will it be a sweep in this series for Avalanche?
This is the mount of the 300. Well, these guys are kind of acting like they only had 2 because they're not doing too well to defend nor attack. Phoenix up behind the midfield line again. Lethal Tim rotating forward as Intuos comes up. That, yet again, makes it past the goal line, and Icy Panda up for... Man, Avalanche is just putting these guys on ice.
I see what you did there.
That's what I do. That's what I do out here.
I see what you did there. Icy Panda is coming out, pulling all the stops. He's making every single play happen. He's putting it into the back of the net. Now Rap is going to try to find one. Not quite able to. But Icy Panda is kind of giving the Spartans a run for their money as we see Lethal Tim just do everything now.
Icy Panda was trying to... They're having fun at this point. They realize up 4, they can kind of start going for clips. Rap in a 1v2. Phoenix doing all he can to try and get possession of the ball because so far, no good for everything that the Spartans have attempted. Yet another rotational mistake. That's got to be beyond a hat trick at this point for Icy Panda.
I think this is 4 goals for Icy Panda. Oof. I think Redline has 1.
My goodness.
I don't have tab open because I don't have it binded.
Oh, I got you. So, right now, little bit caught up in their own wares, down 5, and this could end up being a sweep. They were able to put a lot of pressure onto the Bandits, but we saw a win in Game 5 just earlier against the Mob. But maybe we saw revitalized Bandits, and maybe we're seeing a regressing Spartan team. Right now, they're just not able to take advantage of that early term pressure they had all the way from Game 1. Intuos still seems lost, and as they try to rotate forward into the Avalanche half, and nothing they do is going their way. They're gonna have to reverse sweep to make this work. It is possible, but it's gonna be an uphill climb. No, it's gonna be a mountainous climb to get past this Avalanche.
The Spartans are going for content. They're trying to give FLG, the community, a really good thing to watch. They're gonna take it all the way to Game 5 and win it outright, getting the reverse sweep. I'm calling it right now.
Oh man, they're gonna try.
Do not take that. Do not quote me.
Everyone at KevDog in the chat and on Twitter, because he just said the reverse sweep's happening. But for right now, the Avalanche seems to be a mountain too high to surmount for these Spartans. They did not bring their winter gear, and it is tough out here. That is 11 shots to 2. No true offense really coming out of the Spartans. Intuos was able to kind of get a little bit more involved in terms of at least connection with the ball. But Icy Panda, 4 out of 6, 66% from the field. Is there anyone else? Honestly, Redline, someone already made the mention. He's getting carried right now.
Yeah.
Do you think that's happening, or is he really just kind of doing what he has to do for his team to persist and to win? Because
I feel like Redline is pulling smarts out instead of being a brawn. Like, I feel like he's the brain of the operation than the brawn if we're taking this into a tactical standpoint. Redline's being where he needs to be, stopping what he needs to stop, and he's making the plays happen so Icy Panda and Rap can do the plays for him. He's the mastermind behind the play, and Icy Panda and Rap are just his associates.
I've been told before that sometimes one of the better players will always have the lower score because they know to enable the better shooters, or at least enable shooting in general onto the opposite side. More points wins the game. So why not hold down the back line, make sure your team does not get scored on, and ultimately lose out. But right now, we gotta go to game number 3. This could be a 3-game sweep for the way of the Avalanche. Spartans, pick up your blades, get your shield ready, and dust yourself off because you have to defend the Colosseum.
Currently, what we've been seeing is that the Spartans actually have been going head first, trying to get the blade, the stab in. I think they should start being a little more archers. They need to get some long shots in, drag the defense out, get the long shot in, put it in, because that will definitely help them score something instead of getting 5-0'd.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, you know, Spartans were trained in archery, so that they need to bust out the longbow and take it from the back of that phalanx position. Lethal Tim from the midline. Phoenix, hard rotation forward. Into us, may just drop it off for the enemy, but Redline now is unable to sit down, getting Goomba'd on top of Phoenix. Tim calling off Into us on that rotation to take the midfield boost, give himself a little bit of extra resource to rotate forward. Waiting out Icy Panda, but not able to rotate well enough. Not a good read. Going for a possible 1v1. Redline had an open net. Now looking for an open pass. Rap, he is sniffing it out. This one will drop down before Intuos can make connection. Did Intuos change cars? I think he had the Octane before. Did he shoot or change for a Dominus?
I think he did, but if he's playing defense, he should definitely be the Merc.
I mean, Merc is an OP vehicle, but that may mean that he's feeling uncomfortable in that hybrid body and is looking to try and do something more in the way of shooting. Want to get that kind of flat car mentality.
I feel like he definitely has been, because we've been seeing Lethal Tim not playing as strong of a striker as we normally see him. He's been sitting back, letting Phoenix and Intuos take the shots. But will that work in Game 3? So far it has, because it's 0-0, just over 3 minutes left on the clock. So
50 to the far side wall, and definitely no one has been able to take the advantage just yet. Tim is now streaking forward. I need him to have more consistency in his attack, because when he does not make any kind of connection, that just opens up the door for the defense to be left unaware. Redline popping into himself. That'll be an extra touch, but it's going to drop low, not go very far until Rap comes into the play. Tim into us with the stop. That's a post save, and able to just fend off Rap for long enough. Phoenix clear, barely, but it will make it all the way into the waiting arms of Icy Panda.
Lethal Tim and Intuos just having a very intimate moment, but having to break it up to get the clear. But right now, from Spartans, what do you think they could do in order to get a goal or even take this game? Because right now, they're on the line. They're on the front lines, and they need to bring something there.
I mean, whenever they were able to create the advantage, Tim has to get to this save, but whenever they were able to have the advantage, it was based on demos, making the other team have to off-rotate away from what they were doing just a moment before. They have to get them uncomfortable, and demos will definitely assist with doing that. Phoenix and Tim both go for the same ball. Neither really connects, but somehow they do not get shot on. Intuos, he's trying to bring this one home. Icy Panda with a great save from underneath the crossbar. 1:40 remaining on the clock. The Avalanche, they are a mountain that will not crack as they continue to get battered by the Spartans, looking for some kind of crease between these stones, whereas the armor of the Spartans is starting to crinkle, starting to wrinkle, and it will now ultimately get smashed by Redline, and he gets the 1 goal so far for Game 3.
Redline coming in with the pressure, turning at the perfect moment to hit it right on the right side of Phoenix's car to pinch it into the net, making it 1-0. We went a long time in this game without a single goal, yet a bunch of shots, but Intuos right now getting the kickoff goal, making it 1-1, tying it up. You have to feel for Avalanche, because kickoff goals are very rare, but we have seen them lately in the last 2 series.
Oh man, Rap was almost there, and Intuos, he had a very favorable pinch in the way of Spartans. You could tell the math was checking out for that one. They're not going to get another one, but Tim is going to try and put some early turn pressure from the back wall. Redline, he gets rid of it, but for how long? Intuos already creeping up, and Phoenix trying to make for a 50. Little Tim going to rotate away, and both him and Intuos stacking on each other in a full sandwich. 60 seconds left. The Spartans, they've had 1 goal in the past 2 games. They have to have more. They were able to put so many up in Game 1. It was a party down there on offense, trying to bowl it in. This one was getting slung aside The Avalanche looking for that 3-0 sweep. I don't know if they could be denied. This one going back where the ball spawned from. And Phoenix just trying, I mean, they're setting up these really, really high shots, and it's really good positioning and possession for them, but they're just not finishing it off. What a save!
Intuos!
Oh my goodness.
Why they put Intuos on the back lines? Intuos not pulling a game one. He's getting all the saves, all the shots that came to him. He saved them all, and he's proving right now that he's one of the players. As he hits a long shot, he took the bow and arrow from Lethal Tim and Phoenix, and he said, "Watch, boys, this is how you do it."
Longbow shots. Oh, Redline, what are you doing? He's pulling a Lethal Tim right now. His teammate who was behind him expected him to touch it. Redline, because he was sideways, thought that he would leave the goalie to go for it, and instead, no one did. That one will be the giveaway to the Spartans if the Avalanche can't respond. Rapp, though, he has one more try from the corner. It's bouncing over. Is it? Oh, my goodness. Redline trying to keep it up. They do so for right now. It's all the way downfield. Spartans will steal the game and stay alive in this series.
We trust. In Intuos, we trust. That's all I have to say, because Intuos is carrying the Spartans. Phoenix and Lethal Tim not proving that they are lethal strikers and lethal defenders, but Intuos is taking every single's job, making it a 1v3 for surely. But there was some good passing plays from the Spartans and Avalanche both. But Intuos was just able to make the defense tremble with fear, because they're raiding the motherlands.
Yeah, he was rolling high on his intimidate check, because 2 goals went in, one off of a kickoff, another off of just a long, confusing, apparently perspective shot. And Intuos gets credit for both. But I mean, let's talk about it though. Spartans really kind of got away with this game. Do you think they're going to be able to survive Game 4 to be able to force an entire series forward? Because this was close the whole time. There was not a single score up until like the minute 40 mark. But I don't know if they can do it again.
I want to say they can, honestly. I want to see Spartans take it all the way to Game 5, because, you know, my prediction, the reverse sweep, they're giving us content. Obviously. It's going to happen.
Oh,
but
man.
As you can see, I mean, the chat wants it. Chat's saying reverse sweep over and over. Cold Hand Luke literally put Pews or serve S River, meaning reverse sweeping backwards, literally.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. I'm so glad you're my interpreter, because I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, the first time he put Pews instead of sweep, I'm like, what is this?
It makes sense now. It
Indeed.
all makes sense. All
I
right.
thought the mob mentality was coming back.
Well, Intuos, I hope you took every bit of that as some motivation, because I think he did, and able to start off, and that's a real goal right there as he baits up the defenders and gets one over both Icy and Redline, and no response.
Icy Panda he was able to go for the play. I believe he did get the back boost. So he was able to go for it, but the hesitation and the miscommunications between Avalanche has just shown how Intuos is able to get these shots.
Icy Panda off by the most narrow of margins, a slight degree away from getting that top 90 goal. Phoenix with a fantastic long clear. Going for one here. He has no boost and cannot make that dodge roll count for much. Intuos holding the back line. I think I've finally figured out what has changed. Intuos. Oh, Lethal Tim, you better score this. Yes, you will. That's a dunk, and let those fish flop around. But Intuos, he is holding down the back line now. Lethal Tim and Phoenix will go up as a pair, and Intuos will just kind of go as he can. And so that was a great feed from Intuos to Tim to get that score, and now a 2-goal lead.
Indeed, and Intuos we trust.
Intuos, he's getting bumped, which means there's going to be a possession for the Avalanche from Icy Panda. Tim to his own corner. Phoenix up to Tim. It's a little bit slow, a little bit low. They're looking for Intuos now, but Intuos is going to stay back. That passivity to allow Phoenix and Tim to do what they can is going to create these larger gaps. So they got to really watch out for how that affects their rotation.
Indeed. A bit of a small misplay from Lethal Tim flying past the ball. But again, in Intuos we trust. He was able to clear the ball a little bit, and now Phoenix is helping Intuos get the ball out of their half. There it is.
In case you guys didn't know, there's a lot of Intuos we trust being spammed in the chat. So
It's all Esper.
That's why things are going down. It's all Esper.
It's literally all Esper.
Yeah, he's a proud GM. You know, he picked a good. Well, his captain picked a good player. Going for the double, denied as Icy Panda puts it ice cold down. Phoenix now going for a line shot, puts it a little bit too high. Tim was trying to get a bump onto Redline, but the Avalanche collect themselves. Over a minute and a half now gone into game number 4. They're still down 2. They would love to take this one home, go have a good night's rest, and not have to deal with any more of this series. But this one very well could go to game 5 if this continues to be their consistency.
Indeed, we're seeing a little more of Lethal Tim this game. He did get the second goal, and he has been making a little bit more bumping plays like he did in the first game. Unfortunately, no demos until Phoenix demos Rap.
And Rap Rap's not a big player. You get rid of him, you get rid of a huge amount of offense and threat potential. Oh, off the mark. They are getting. So they're getting down there, right? They're able to kind of spread out the Avalanche to either corner, but then they're just a little bit off in terms of accuracy.
Yeah, that's definitely where the experience and the card control comes in. Being able to hit the ball in the perfect place. And that's why they're the rank they are, because most of the time, if you're not able to put the ball onto the net with the given opportunity, it's going to cost you something.
We got to talk about the other side too, because so far Avalanche, for all the siege that they've been surviving from the Spartans, they've not really been able to get onto offense. Not a whole lot in the way of shots, and even when they get down there, it's short-lived. Icy Panda's kind of nuances when it comes to dribbling and setups really getting shut down. Tim winning a 50. Now progressing all the way to the back corner of the Avalanche. Rap overextending himself, leaving it for Redline. Good pass off. He's going to try and come forward into the midfield line, but Phoenix just denies it. The positioning is much, much better for the Spartans, and they are starting to shine when it comes to their rotations.
The amount of backflips and the lifts we've seen.
Oh!
But Intuos just making every single play happen. No one there for the shot, but you have to think, if you're on Avalanche right now, what can you do to take Game 5, if it does go to Game 5, if they manage to find a way to take Game 4? But if they don't, how do you think they'll be able to come back from this devastating loss?
I mean, it's going to be rough. They already have a series win, so they go down 1-1. But right now, all right, we're starting to see a little bit more out of Redline and this Avalanche group as demos start to fly, and realizing they got to just start ruining the rotation that the Spartans have built up. Intuos gets a clear. This is where he suffered in the end of games 1 and 2 with that possible sweep forthcoming. Tim putting a shot on, and Icy Panda caught out. It's 3-0, and they're trying for the reverse sweep to go into game 5. 46 seconds left.
Remember when I said don't quote me? Quote me, baby, because it's happening. Reverse sweep. Give me all your money now. Not really.
Not quite.
Not quite.
You're a little bit of a bandwagoner, man. You got to really start trusting in your words. Phoenix.
Hey, I've been calling Spartans winning this entire series for the longest time.
Okay. Icy Panda.
Go back to the VOD. I told you.
Rap is going to put one to the backboard. 30 seconds left. They have to get one every 10 seconds. That's not happening. The Spartans, they realize that maybe they took a little bit too much in the way of a vacation at trying to get onto offense. Tim, no boost to handle it. 15 seconds left now. That's going to be all they need to put this game away. It is a little bit too much, too late for the Avalanche to make up for. Good demo. And this is something that they got to really start doing, I think, going into game number 5, which we are going to be heading to. Bust out your upside-down brooms. We're possibly having a reverse sweep as the Spartans force a game 5 out of the Avalanche.
Indeed, right now we have been seeing the first 2 games were Avalanche all the way, but now these last 2 games, 3 and 4, have been Spartans every single time. I mean, game 3 was really close, but game 4, they've been showing why they're going to be able to reverse sweep it. But I feel like I can use an analogy here. Sometimes the snowy mountain of Avalanche can create an avalanche.
Yeah, that's true.
But I feel like they joined in as the avalanche was already happening, and now it's just come to a settle. Now everybody's trying to find what they happened, and the Spartans have figured out a way to topple the mountain.
You know what? I like it. I like it a lot. They were trying to ascend a mountain as the avalanche was occurring, and now that the snow has settled, they can surmount the peak. But
Indeed.
will the crag break open and a mighty robot strike them down, or will these Spartans be able to conquer these Persian players? I'm not sure. And by the way, no one's actually Persian in this team, I don't think. I just want to put it out there. We don't hate the Persians, all right? Yeah. So it's not a big
little
deal.
History lesson for you, though.
Little fun history. But it's either the Spartans or the Avalanche. Give me an SPA or an AVA in the chat. I hope you guys are having a fun time. It is game number 5. You've got Phoenix. You've got Redline. You've got amazing shooters on either side. Who is going to take it ultimately at the end of times? This is our final match, our final game of the day. The FLG's Week 1 for the Challenger League will end tonight. Let's get it on.
You said give them an SPA or an AVA?
Yeah.
Nah, give them an INT because into us we trust, baby.
Oh, baby. Going to the post. Into us. Already there. Being aggressive. Tim with the shot. And that's the follow. It took 11 seconds and the Spartans strike first.
Already we see the positioning and the pressure from Lethal Tim and Intuos. And it's already 11 seconds into this game and we see a bunch of Intuos we trust already coming out from in the break of between games, but you never know what could happen because we still have basically all 5 minutes left in this game.
Phoenix taking a long bomber. Rap has put it to the high corner, and Tim is immediately threatening. And Lethal Tim, the lethality, coming out in earnest. They could not get rid of it. It was a bad defensive clear, and Redline could not get there in time.
It is no longer an Intuos we trust. We are now trusting in Tim putting the shots into the back of the net without Avalanche being able to save them. So instead of saying in Intuos we trust, in the Spartans we trust. Because this is Sparta.
Oh my goodness, Phoenix! He's gonna wrestle this one in. We have only been outside the first 30 seconds. Spartans! Oh! 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 Going in, that's 1, that's 2, and that is 3.
3 strikes, you're out, baby. Avalanche just quit the game already. 30 seconds, just basically 30 seconds into the game, and you're already down 3-0. Come on, where's the defense?
Come on, Avalanche, you gotta get there. I know that your engines are cold, but you gotta start running red hot. Redline, he's gonna put this into the forward corner. Rap's gonna rotate in, looking for a bump, but immediately it is cleared. This is the advantage that the Spartans have had. They now know how to parse through that back goal line of the Avalanche, and they no longer suffer from being able, or from their own defense. Into us. Dodging away. He's going to be able to still collect this ball. He's going to look for a corner touch and maybe for a ceiling touch. No, leaving it to Lethal Tim. Bounces like he's kind of on a moon bounce, though.
It's a trampoline, guys.
It's kind of a trampoline, just boinged right off the floor.
If he was a Scarabee, it'd be a ball and a ball, but if he's a Dominus, it's a trampoline on pitch.
Now, Lethal Tim rotating away. Gonna leave it. Put a little bit of a 50-50 pressure. Phoenix rotating from the midfield line into us, coming on back. Rotate, nice little bit of flutter. If anything, they're working for the clock at this point. They definitely want to get these insurance goals, but they're going to start bleeding this clock. You start to get into those kickoff situations more and more, and then you present opportunity for the other team to maybe get a score and take the advantage for themselves. Phoenix, he barely misses off the front face of the post. 3 minutes left. What can the Avalanche do to get back in this game and in this series?
Pressure and don't let Tim bump you.
Yeah.
Tim's the ultimate, basic. He's the executioner of the team. He will demo you, he will bump you, it does not matter. But if you are there, but I mark my words, as Rap's able to pick up a goal for Avalanche.
Icy Panda extended it. Into us, could not get hold of it. And then we have an air show by Tim and Phoenix as they both panic and just, go crossing pelicans in front of the net, just doing, I guess, Blue Angels style flyby, as Rap is like, all right, well, now I'll just finish it with a bang and gets an explosion. We're approaching halftime in game number 5. The goal advantage is still 3-1 for the Spartans. Playing for the Emperor in Utopia Coliseum. They need to defend their honor. They would love nothing more to start the season undefeated 2-0. Over to Tim. Tim will rotate away. He's going to try and get the save. Phoenix will in front of his own crossbar. Red line, a soft setup, and that gives him an advantage. Going to make a midfield touch. Spartans, they're banking on these long punts to be able to get enough space to respond in time, and for some reason the Avalanche is letting them do it.
Indeed. Right now what we're seeing is Spartans just pulling out all the stops at the very early game. Now they're playing the clock. Hopefully going for some clicks because we need it.
And
But
consistent play. Gotta play some good old Rocket League. Good sound rotations, mechanics, and the basics put out there. Intuo's getting destroyed. Avalanche, you need to start getting in there. Throw snow in their on their windshield. Put ice on their tires. Something's gotta happen. Rap, set up to himself. Doesn't have a whole lot in the way of boost, but Icy Panda does. That's a follow-up, and it comes out the inside of the post.
well, if you think that these two Challenger series that we've seen tonight are extremely good in mechanics and just overall playstyle, stay tuned for tomorrow and Sunday because we have Vanguard and Champions still to come.
Oh my goodness. Lethal Tim, hats off to you. You just got a hat trick. Redline put it right down center lane, and he just took it away. Rap rotating on the opposite side. The reverse sweep incoming. Better have your brooms already as they try to finish off this series. 4-1 right now, minute 11 is do or die time for the Avalanche. That's a shot on, and Phoenix with a save. Icy Panda, for all his worth, for all he can muster and was able to do, they could not seal this series away from the Spartans. They allowed them to come back, and so far, so good. Intuos trying to finish off one more insurance goal. I don't think the Spartans are going to end up losing this one.
Honestly, right now we're seeing the reverse sweep. Take your brooms, flip them upside down. It's the reverse sweep happening, baby. But so far, the Spartans they've taken their torches and they've found a way to burn the snow.
Very true. They have found the heat to melt through. They have cracked the aggro crag. Redline. They're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Week 1, not starting off well. They had victory in hand. The Spartans weathered the storm, picked up their shields, and they stood together in a phalanx formation. 10 seconds left. Intuos will leave it on by, and the Spartans have been able to accomplish and come back and get the reverse sweep at home field in Utopia Coliseum.
Just a consolation prize for Avalanche, saying GG's, you guys get one lucky one, can't have the ultimate barrier, but they have taken Intuos, you see in the top left, the reverse in
my
all
goodness.
caps. I don't think they can see it, but I do. That is what he said. But the reverse sweep coming out from the Spartans against the Avalanche. I remember everybody was getting super down on Spartans, being like they're not good enough, they can't do it. And then I say they just have to go for long shots. They will take the reverse sweep and they will win the series. And this is exactly what they did.
I mean, fantastic game to come back. Intuos was feeling down on himself, and a little bit of just persistence, resilience, and a lot of luck in one of those particular games helped the Spartans pull out the first reverse sweep of the season. It only took 2 matches before we got a reverse sweep. We got 2 Game 5s tonight. Both of them were fantastic. I want everyone to thank KevDog being with me tonight. First time casting with me. He did a great job. KevDog, you're awesome, and I can't wait to see you in future casts with me. Any thoughts to finish out tonight?
Well, first and foremost, let's get an F in the chat for Avalanche and for the mob.
Oh, poor mob, man.
Both teams have put such a good fight out tonight, but we've seen Bandits and Spartans take it, and they're still battling. Who's the better warrior, Bandits or Spartans? Who do you think? But if you still have your Twitch Prime sub and you haven't subbed to anybody left, make sure you subscribe to FLG.
You're persistent, and I love that.
More stuff to come.
If you want to support us, you can give us subs, you can give us bits, you can give us anything, or you can give us nothing. But you know what? No matter what, we're going to be putting on a show for you. We have 2 more days left of Week 1 for the Season 5 Champions Draft Series. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, we will begin Vanguard Week 1. We have 3 matches. They're going to be awesome. If you're not yet part of our Discord community, please, !Discord, check it out. We have !Twitter as well. If you want to see where the casters, myself and Kegdog, like to hang out. There's also exclamation point casters. There's a lot of commands that are up in this. If you want to hang out with us at any time, simply at me, at him, at everyone, and just hang out for the entirety of this community. I love all you guys. You guys always make this a fun time, and I can't wait to do this again tomorrow night. So please make sure you hang out with us more. We're gonna head on out, and this has been a fantastic night for Rocket League and for Season 5.
Of course, and stick around for tomorrow as I am playing with the Thunderbirds versus the Knights, and we're just gonna demolish them, honestly.
Oh!
That's my call for right now. We're demolishing them.
Hey, you know what? Good luck.